We are live, everybody! Woo! Welcome back to our D&D game, In Hoc Signo Vinces. This is session 11! We had double digits last time, I said it would be 10. We continue on strong with 2 out of 5 of the previous party members, so.
We got fucking wrecked. Get wrecked, son.
I highly suggest that if you are not caught up, or at least haven't seen the last episode, go do that, because it is
shenanigans.
heartbreaking at the least. So yes, link is at the bottom right corner of the screen, bit.ly/LeafJackGaming, and that is our YouTube channel with the playlist with all of the session videos. Alright, now that I have plugged that, last time shenanigans really did happen. You guys were escaping the mage base after doing some saboteur work. You were caught and attacked. Sadly, in your attempt to escape, you accidentally identified more than you could handle, and a quadruple fireball blast, took out instantly. We'll say instantly, but it wasn't technically, 2 of your party members, and a third went down. So rip Ugin, rip Ellie, and Thokk is MIA. So we pick up immediately after that with Jecht and Fartraveler. You are running currently away from the mage's base. Without any perception checks, just with basic perception, you both are able to hear in the distance towards where the army was, explosions, even screaming from this distance. It's almost a mile and a half away, but it's loud. It's all happening to the west. That's the direction. The guards that were at the tunnel see you guys running, but without any real preparation, just kind of watch you run away with Jack on Fartraveler's back. What's your guys' current plan of action?
I'm going to suggest we head to our army, but not straight through to battling, because that's going to be a lot of explosions.
I'm along for the ride at this point.
And that.
Okay, so that is your plan. Do you plan cutting diagonally across this plain to kind of get behind where you would expect the army to be, or do you want to go in an L shape, or a variety of the two?
Is there any conflict on the plane?
Return of the cheering safe space.
On the plain out in front of you, there's fire to your south. And then to your west, it's open plain, and what seems to be more fire after a while. More smoke billowing from the distance.
Yeah, when you say there's fire, that's not very descriptive. It's like just a bit of fire, or the world is on fire, or your heart is on fire.
Well, the last one might be true. But yes, I should clarify. To the south, there is raging grass fire happening with billowing smoke. That's where a lot of the fire was from you guys previously. It is getting worse. And from what you can tell, it is spreading in a radius rather than one way or another, with it mostly going, I think I rolled this north, so towards you. As for the fire to the west, all you can really tell at this point, there is billowing black smoke. Probably also a grass fire, maybe something else like catapult, uh, one of those like balls that they put a lot of tar on, maybe something like that as well, that caught fire and was launched.
This is something I actually don't have any experience with in 5th edition. Approximately how dangerous is a wildfire?
And well, with this grass fire, it can be assumed to be burning very hot, and it will be moving fast. And based on
The
your
thing about
previous,
the thing about grass fires is like they tend to burn a wave, and whatever is behind is already reduced to ash because there's not much grass to burn.
right?
So is it like a wall of fire that's moving forward, and everything behind it is now cinders, or?
You can expect that, yes.
Okay. Again, I don't have a frame of reference for how dangerous a wildfire is in 5th edition. I never encountered one.
So
Diving through it, you can probably expect to experience fireball level heat, not necessarily percussive damage like the blast damage, but definitely heat. So it's gonna be quite hot, quite dangerous to go through, but not necessarily deadly if you just bull rush through it. But then again, the ground behind it's still gonna remain quite hot, even if it's not on fire.
It sounds dangerous, but survivable. How important do you reckon speed is in getting the information to the army, Jack?
sorry, say again. You cut out.
How important do you reckon getting the information we have to the front lines is? Because their forces are down, and if we can capitalize on that, we could push through right now before they can recover.
Yeah, we could, but so the mission that we were tasked with seems mostly like just like an intel gathering type thing, and if we did stop it, we were supposed to report back. With as much damage as we did to the forces inside, like filling up a cavern of lava. I don't know how effective that was since some guy packed some lava. It, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we should go back to, the front lines, or rather report what we saw and what we did, and have them send a runner rather. Because the last thing we want to do is run headlong into a situation with only two of us.
Do Templar armies usually have scouts? I don't know anything about warfare in this campaign setting.
Also, I am incredibly blue right now, so I don't know if they will be like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you were blue.
Timey-wimey magic shenanigans. That's all I have an explanation for.
As for scouts, they would have scouted ahead more north towards the battlefield rather than out. So you're not likely to find very many too far away, but if you're lucky, you might bump into one closer to the battle.
You know what? I'm feeling lucky because I'm not dead. Jack's not dead. Let's make an L shape in a path that is most likely to lead to an outskirt scout and hope for luck.
Perfect. I will dismount the Far Traveler at this point and run on my own.
Means to grab you by the arm and just sprint anyways, because again, I'm faster than you are.
if that's how it works, then I guess we'll just saddle you up again.
Yes, it would actually be faster to ride him like a horse.
Perfect. Sounds good. Upsies.
Very good. Okay. So you will run, and you can definitely tell you're going to hit the fire before your mind perceives that you would be out of the way to make your to be far enough to take your L to be safe and find scouts on the outskirts. So I will give you the option to turn early. However, that might put you in more dangerous proximity to the battle, or you can try bull rushing through the fire.
So, Far Traveler, if you want to rush to the fire first and see what kind of damage we're talking about, I have a couple misty steps I could probably blast it.
Misty steps for you only, right?
Yes, but I was maybe the DM will allow this kind of like a teleportation, or like Nightcrawler. You know how he can hold on to somebody and teleport somebody else? Would we be able to do something like that, or is it just single?
1 second.
I think it's just single. Because
the
thing you're talking about is something called Dimension Door.
That sounds like a Dimension Door effect.
Yeah, there is
okay.
a dimension.
So
Dimension Door.
So if there's a spell that does that, then I don't think that'll work.
It's
a 4th level spell.
In the future, if you're looking for interesting 3rd level spells, may I recommend Thunderstep from Xanathar's Guide to Everything?
We'll get there when we hit 7th level.
Gotta plug that, what is it? Power Creep in the new products being released.
Oh, baby. So excited for that power creep.
We'll get to that soon. Yeah, I guess it'd probably be safer to try the wildfire if it's too dangerous to disengage some way, but rather than try and face a direct confrontation with more mages at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll try and head towards the fire. So, Matt, once we get towards the fire, how thick is the wall, I guess? How much is burning at a time?
So the wall itself isn't growing fast, or it's growing as fast as it's burning, right? So it's not gaining any depth, and so it's going to stay about where it was at 5 feet. So really you just need to be able to get through that 5 feet. Okay. With the force and the wind pushing it, it's going faster than you can run once you get close enough to find this out. And you start feeling the heat at about 100 feet away. It doesn't hurt yet, but you're sure that it will happen soon. And in about a round, it will be on you.
Okay. Is there any way we could back up a little bit and I can cast Ray of Frost in a couple places and kind of slow it down so maybe it opens up a gap?
You can try.
On the ground? Casting Ray of Frost on the ground?
Yeah, we don't have to be at 100 feet. You can be 200 or 300 feet away, or I don't know, how close do you need to be for Ray of Frost?
60 feet is my max on that one.
Okay, so you will, unless you want to try shooting at the ground before the fire gets there?
Yes, kind of just having a patch of ice, so maybe it'll go around that and we'll have an opportunity to go through that gap.
That's actually not a bad idea. Make a ring of ice and then take cover in that where it's not going to be as intense instead of just going straight through your raging fire.
Okay, so do you want to do that? Do you want to make a ring around you and try holding out in the ring, or do you want to do a line to try cut through it, or what do you want to do here?
We'll try the ring, and we'll put it at a radius of, say, 20 feet, 20, 30 feet, somewhere there. What do you think?
Yeah. Traveler? Well, he's working on a ring. I'm going to be frantically ripping grass out of the ground and throwing it out of the ring.
Perfect.
Okay, and
frantically is the wrong word. Let's go with frenetically.
Okay.
Far Traveler doesn't do anything frantically.
Just rip, throw, rip, throw, rip, throw, rip, throw, rip, throw.
Are you saying that while you're doing that?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So it's a good plan. You guys think this plan will work well, and I agree. So what will happen is you're making your ring, probably focusing more on in front of you, because once the fire is behind you, the heat's definitely being pushed through rather than behind. So making a thicker section in front of you is a good plan. Something you probably just do. So you would make your ring, ripping out grass, and the fire hits you, and it almost feels like being hit by a truck because of how fast it's going. So you guys are going to take 13 fire damage.
Okay. Not too
bad. Definitely a lot of it is from that impact, kind of like a fireball's impact and fires mixed together. But the heat is definitely dispersed, and it's just the air kind of going into your body as it goes past you. And you can kind of think of it, it's going to mess with the mages in a little bit because it's going to hit the cave entrance.
Right. Do you have a question?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was did everybody die timeline wise?
Few minutes, not too long.
Okay, perfect. And I think my amulet was still working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. How much was that?
Cool. It's 10 temporary hit points, so you would have only taken 3 actual hit points off of the 10.
Yep. That's what I got. Cool.
Yeah.
Remembering stuff.
So, which is good because I didn't. I remember now. As you look in front of you now that you've gone through this fiery wall, it is black, and if you think of it in agriculture terms, nothing will grow here for a long time. It's everything. The ground is charred.
Blighted.
The grass is.
It's blighted.
Yes, it's blighted pretty much. Ground's charred. There's no moisture. The grass, some bits remain of red glowing embers. It's warm here. It's uncomfortable, but it's not painful.
Well, like I said, I'm sure this was an outcome for this field, regardless of if we burned it or if the world burned it.
Yeah. It's not unlikely.
So once the wall of fire has passed and we took the damage, let's proceed again on that L shape looking for a scout.
Okay. Go ahead and make active perceptions, and I'll make your passives your minimum. Okay, let's see what I got. Perfect. Okay, so next question is how hidden are you trying to be? Are you trying to be just open and quick, or are you trying to kind of sneak through the tall grass with your running?
Well, there's not much by way of tall grass anymore.
That's true.
I'm just kind of in an open field.
Speed is more key at the moment to get the info out as quick as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that changes that rule in my part because that can happen. Cool. You guys are running, kind of looking where you would expect the scout to be, which making sure there's no ambushes coming around the sides, and you find. Let's check. One thing. Oh, you find a charred body.
Cool. Let's look it over real quick.
Just poke it with the stick.
Okay. On the skin, there's 4th-degree burns. This person died quick in the fire. There was nothing they could have really done. Nothing you guys could do, he could do, or whatever. It's almost difficult to distinguish that this was a person. In some basic searching on their body, you are able to find a metal, like belt buckle with the Templar spirals on it. It doesn't seem to be alchemical, just a symbol to kind of like show this is who this person is.
It's probably an elf. They go up like kindling.
Apparently.
Wrecked.
Started.
He just got roasted.
Oh.
Ooh, sick burn.
Too soon. Awesome. So, since it's just a belt buckle and not full plate, I'm guessing this was a scout.
Yeah, it seems to be. It's not actually like a belt buckle, but it's kind of like the size of a belt buckle. It wouldn't be like blatantly shown on them, but it would be somewhere on their person.
Like dog tags.
Yeah, dog
Kinda,
tag type
yeah.
thing. A little bigger than that because the symbol takes a little space.
Okay, no time to waste dilly-dallying with the corpse. Let's keep going.
Agreed.
Okay. So with your speed, you're not running very far. Another 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You get to the battle. Taking your L shape. And what you see is in the front near the lake is a bunch of Templars with their holy symbols out, kind of like shields with their holy symbols, that are taking direct hits from magical blasts. Many sorts, just like rays, bolts, explosions, all of this, but they seem to be having their shields out for protection, and they're slowly making progress, like shuffling forward. You can kind of think of a battle scene where two shields are clashing together, and then like one side pushes and tries to get forward, and then like they take steps and they take steps and they kind of get pushed back a little bit and they try taking steps. As you do approach, the fire has already swept through, but the area around the Templars seems to be still grassy, as if like water was put down in haste. But at the edges of the Templar lines, there are scarred bodies and burnt up corpses. Also behind the shield line, there are javelin throwers, and behind them is the close range combatants staying low to make sure they're not in contact with any of the spells that are being flung. So the javelin throwers will pop up, throw a javelin in when they hope is a somewhat secure moment, and try to get a mage, which on the other side of this battlefield, which is now scarred and burnt just like the other bits of the Firelands, there are mages that seem to be casting a protective barrier in front of another line of mages that are hurling and tossing out aggressive spells. Farther back, you have more lines waiting to kind of like switch out, kind of like different sections. And you see on his horse, Duncan, a little farther back, kind of tapping at his swords, waiting for what seems the opportunity to strike.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems like a good person to go talk to, though. Probably have Jack take off the bracelet before we get over there.
Sounds good. Throw that in my pocket.
Which bracelet?
I'm wearing the bracelet. I don't think that Duncan would be happy about the mage escorting the barbarian wearing the bracelet.
He doesn't know Jack is a mage.
Well, in that case, he doesn't know we had a bracelet at all.
Not really. I hid it whenever we were around him.
Mm-hmm. But you do precautions to make sure they're hidden and not on Far Traveler, right? That's what I'm understanding.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you head to him. You are met with a couple of soldiers who are waiting for their turn to get forward. They're like, "Oh, are you mages?" And they pull down their spears and javelins and start like preparing themselves to fight the two of you.
I look at them blankly like they're stupid.
No, Yellow, of course not. We're looking for Commander Atreides. We have vital information to report.
Look at each other and look at the battlefield in front of them and kind of take a step. And, well, I don't think mages would come in pairs so openly, so and they kind of point to him and let you through.
Head on over.
Okay. Commander's sitting, arms crossed again, kind of fiddling with his swords, with his crossed arms, glaring forward. He
I'll
notices
walk around to be in his line of sight.
Okay. He notices your approach and goes, "Oh, good. Where are you? Where's the rest of you? Are they up in the front fighting?"
Just say casualties.
So, kind of glancing at Fartrevor and understanding that he is from a different kind of culture, I will kind of do a quick bow and say, we had a few losses. We lost 2 of our group, and your son Thokk has been captured.
Did you at least succeed on the mission?
We did. So I will report to him what we saw and what we did, and the. I'm sorry.
Report to them that they are summoning demons, elementals, fae. They were holding devils and celestials, and we did cause a huge amount of casualties on their side. In the base, there was a lot of chaos in the base, and if they want to capitalize on an offensive position, they should not fight softly right now. They should go hard.
Go hard.
Hard. Okay. He takes a moment and bows his head and closes his eyes for a second and looks up and says, "Ugin was a friend of mine." He then begins to shout orders to double the line and prepare to do a full-on rush. As the forces begin to rearrange themselves practicedly,
I will also instruct him there's one obviously more powerful mage than anything I've ever seen.
Oh, that's right. What was his name?
We never got it. Our characters don't know it.
Yeah. That's right. We don't know it. We saw him.
Well.
But he seemed to be much more powerful than even an Archmage.
I don't know if you guys actually have a idea of how strong Archmages might be, so...
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you're not totally sure. He could have been. He could have been just an Archmage that took care of the situation.
From what I've seen of mages, they cause little puffs of fire. This guy moved an entire river of lava. That's a scale stronger in my character's mind.
He acted like it wasn't ain't no thing. He just did it. It's like, hey, that's cool.
Well, there's 2 possibilities. One, you saw an Archmage who just is doing well for himself, which isn't good. Or 2, you saw the Grand Mage.
Either way, we avoided him, which was our instructions.
Exactly.
Well, I commend both of you. You seem to follow instructions very well. We will hopefully not have to deal with him, and if we do, I will be on the charge for that myself. As for you two, you're not Templar, but I would wish to speak to you back at camp after this is over. You're welcome to stay and fight, or go back.
I'll give him a curt nod and turn back towards camp.
And I will follow Fartrevor.
Okay. At that, he draws one of his blades, one hand on the reins of his horse and he nicks forward and begins to scream a battle cry, as do the rest of the forces, and you can hear them rushing off to fight more and much harder.
So as we're walking back to camp, I'll make a note or a comment to Far Traveler that it seemed that Commander Atreides was more concerned about Ugin's death than Thokk's capture.
That's unfortunate. Family should care for family.
Agreed.
On your way back, you are met with I don't know if it's unexpected, a visitor heading towards the battle. You are met with Xerxes. She sees you heading the other direction and travelers, I know you. Why do you head away from the war?
Our task is done. Our mission is complete.
And what of the rest of the army?
They press on towards the mages.
Then my fight is forward. And she rushes off.
I don't think she was supposed to be fighting.
She's not supposed to be fighting according to her husband, but according to her, she is. So, good luck stopping her.
Well, I'm not going to stop her.
Okay. It does not take long with just the two of you to make it back to base camp. It's fairly empty from forces. There's a few who remain to protect the camp from any secondary forces of the mages, along with the supply, the craftsmen and the food people, the civilians. That's the word. They keep working. The food people seem to be preparing for the return of their soldiers, prepping what they hope to be a victory feast. What is your guys' plan for right now?
I feel like I should take a rest. I've been burned several times today.
Agreed.
Same.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, we'll hunker down for a good sleeps.
Okay. If you guys go to food, you'll be given food. The medical people will attend to you if they see you, or if you seek it out. Otherwise, your tent is always prepared for your rest.
Food, medical attention, sleep, probably that order.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. They patch up your wounds and
Jack's like, I have a minor burn on the back of my hand. It sort of hurts a little bit. Can I get some ointment?
So yes, you guys are able to rest. Everyone gets the benefits of a long rest. Thokk, you will gain your hit points back. However, due to your current predicament, which we had discussed a little bit earlier, you do not regain any resources other than your HP.
Okay. So hit points, that's it.
Yep.
Got it.
Yes, let's continue with you two. You're right now the main party, and what we're going to probably follow for most of this.
Lol.
I don't know if we're actually going to get to Thokk. I apologize.
It's okay.
All right.
Things occurring with Thokk might happen right now because the army pushed forward, right?
Like you can kind of split the focus a little bit and see if
we can do that.
Because we're basically dormant while whatever is happening at the mages is happening.
Actually, we will do that. We're going to go ahead and take our focus to Thokk. Thokk and I have discussed what happened to him immediately after being captured. He was brought to a cell and interrogated by that one mage. Okay, Rains will be back shortly. Thokk, you are stripped down to your street clothes, common clothes, and within the next hour or so, you can't really tell what's going on from here, except that the whole section in front of you, as I described to you before, is bustling with the variety of summoned creatures from the conjuring rooms. After a little while, people do come in, and ignoring any sort of slurs or angry gestures you have at them, they clean you up and make sure you are healthy. They do offer you food. Do you take the food?
Spit in it.
Spit in the food? Any water for you?
Spit in that too.
Still drink it. So, with some poorly developed skills of mine in GIMP, I decided with Thokk, Joe's coaxing, to do some tailoring of his character, and he currently has burn scars across the right side of his face. I also fixed his hair because his hair was weird, but yeah, did some work on that. Kind of cool in my mind, anyways.
Very.
You did a good job.
Inspiration.
I will use it to kill you. Wait. After a little while, a man arrives. From here, you don't hear any noise of the battle, by the way. You just hear some ruckus from the creatures in front of where you are. I don't know if I just described this, but the way it looks is you have your cell, and in front of you is a kind of like a catacomb, beehive type thing, where there are different cells, and they go all the way down into this round structure. And at the bottom is it's more cylindrical than fully round.
Okay,
That's
and
where
I'm in one of those cells, kind of like tied up.
Yeah, you are. You're in a to be described as kind of like this scene in Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan has been captured by Count Dooku, and he's hanging. His arms are up, and there's these magical tendrils that are holding you in place. From what you can tell, it's been a couple hours, and after that, a single man, a drow, walks into your room with a slight smirk. He has a scar across his face next to his eye. And he sits down on a little chair he brought in with him. He gives you a look and says, "So, you're the great Atreides."
Who's asking?
"Oh, I'm a friend."
Are you a mage?
"Why, heavens, no. I'm the Inquisitor. And I am very inquisitive. Tell me, why would a Templar be in a mage's hideout?"
Tell me, why would a drow be interested in some fucking half-orc?
"Oh, your name is quite famous."
Yeah? Well, you seem to know about me. I don't seem to know a lot about you.
"Oh, my story. When I was a lad, I grew up in one of the great drow cities. And, you know, the drows are Mostly, the women are in charge. The men mean not much more than a reproductive tool and a fighting tool, of course. But I was always shown to have great ability to get people to talk. So after many years of honing my skills, I decided to come to the surface. And here I met the mages, and they were interesting. So I taught myself more. Ah, he had his hand on something on.
The torturer spikes himself with something.
Excuse me, I bumped one of my instruments. And now they sent me here to talk to you. And of course, I always do my research before I go and talk to someone so important.
They being the assholes.
I didn't count, but I'm sure they all have one. And they asked me to find out why someone as pristine of name down here. Now they can expect some Templar trying to get in to mess with their stuff. But why you?
Why not?
Is drow plural? Okay. Drow. Drowses. Oh, it just seems weird to send someone's own son to die, as your friend is so willing we did for him.
I say nothing.
You do know, though, don't you?
Know what?
They all died. For you. For your
Lying.
family.
You're lying.
That's too bad. It's okay if you don't believe me.
Can I do insight?
You may.
Okay.
You might be telling the truth.
So, even if Thokk does believe it, he doesn't want to, so he's going to react accordingly.
Okay.
You fuck me. I'm saying shit to you.
The dwarf decided to die. The girl decided to come back. If that's what you think. It's not the same. She hasn't talked. Which is why I'm here. What were you doing? I know it was you. Your group who set off the poison. And around the materials room, so what were you doing?
We were doing inspections, and we were caught prisoner, like we told your people in the front.
Why would you be doing inspections? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do this?
You were ordered to. Shit.
You're ordered to shit. I see this is going nowhere. He pulls out a metal probe, which, with a flick of his wrist, the tip begins to burn. Go ahead and make a Constitution save.
All right.
Spit on it.
I spit on it, yeah.
It sizzles. Well, that's very gross, but it's not me who is going to touch. 1 second.
Okay. He has to go kill a spider.
Oh, well, good.
So when he's gone, I'm gonna like when it's when he's prodding me with the hot iron or whatever, I'm going to flex in such a way that like bends the iron out of his hands, and then like flex in another kind of way that like brings it up to my mouth so I can like slash at his face.
Oh, good
Yep.
luck with
That's gonna work just fine.
Yep.
Like it's the SpongeBob flexing that his biceps turn into their own hands.
Yes.
What?
What?
I came back at a weird time. Anyways, sadly you are not able to save, and you will spill one information to him. Anything he's asked, you'll tell him truthfully. What do you want to tell him?
Joe.
So
Joe,
eh,
does that Constitution save factor in your charisma?
what?
You're a level 6 paladin. You have an aura.
Oh yeah. So I have 13.
So you have a 13 instead.
Yeah. How do you like make that count towards?
Just set it as a global on your character sheet.
Okay. I'll do that later. Oh, yeah, so I got 13. I'm assuming nothing changes.
Hmm. You know, I'm going to say that you are able to hold your tongue, but you're not able to hold yourself back from screaming in pain.
Okay.
After several excruciating hours, minutes, it's really hard to tell when you're being interrogated and tortured. He does leave, saying, "You are quite resilient. I will be back tomorrow. Look forward to it."
I spit in his direction and curse at him in abyssal.
He just chuckles and leaves. After that, you find yourself falling asleep, and to the point where you just end up passing out. This time, another Constitution save, actually. Let's do that.
Okay. 15.
You feel your body is weak. It's difficult to rest properly. However, you are able to avoid a level of exhaustion.
Okay. Well, so my AC right now is 10, I believe, because I'm not wearing any armor.
Yeah, 10 plus dex.
So 9.
Yeah, 9. Okay.
Okay.
Early in the morn, we go back to Jack and Far Traveler. You are awoken to the sounds of a marching army. They fought all night, and they have just arrived in the mid-morning. So,
If I actually get orders to have a meeting, I'm going to go do my morning rituals before he wants a meeting. If he survived, we'll find out.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get those in handily. Is Jack doing anything while Far Traveler is doing his morning rituals?
Just drinking a cup of coffee while I'm watching Far Traveler do his weird ass stuff.
Sadly, the highest point isn't too terribly high in this area, but you can find the top of a tent.
It is what it is.
The
ancestors understand hardship.
They would, yes, indeed. And in your ritual, and also Jack, while you watch, you both notice a funeral procession. However, it is led by Duncan. You can easily tell he is on one of the front shields, as just a couple of shields stacked together are holding up the body of Xerxes, who from here has a grin from ear to ear, her eyes are closed, and her battle axe or her spear across her front.
If it weren't totally inappropriate for campaign settings, she definitely made it to Valhalla.
She made it to where she belongs.
The Abyss.
The Abyss.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she didn't worship any deities.
Oh, hey, that's a good point. Is that a problem in your campaign setting? Like, I know that's really bad in Forgotten Realms, but
Not worshiping deities?
Yeah.
That's acceptable. It's whatever.
okay.
While they are active as most normally active, like the divine intervention type things, those happen. They're not like a forceful hand in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if you get some free time, go check out what happens to non-faithful in Forgotten Realms sometime. It's neat. And by neat, I mean, why?
No, you're not railroaded into following any sort of deities. Anyways, this happens. They march her towards Duncan's tent, where they will do their actual tent, not their war room tent, where they will prepare her properly for her burial. All right. It gets to about noon before anything actually happens, so you guys do have a little bit of time to roam about. Do you guys want to do any of that?
Yeah, I'll see if there's a extra shield anywhere.
Yes, at the blacksmiths they have the shields being made, and not far from there they actually have an alchemist who is carving, or not carving, but enlacing the shields with the alchemical properties.
Are they willing to part with any of them?
Yeah, you can do either.
I will request a shield and take it over to the alchemist, and or a finished shield, either one, and ask him if he's got time to do a little something for me.
The alchemist is, well, work's work. I mean, if it's not too hard, I'm sure I could do it.
I flip over the back of the shield and point to just above the handle and say, "Can you carve this name in?" Well, I'm assuming they use acid, and I'll write down in a dwarvish rune Ugin's name.
Yeah, that's yeah. And he just kind of starts sketching real quick. Here you go.
Take it.
Gives you a shrug. Is there anything we want to do with that right now, or are you gonna leave it for now?
Shield?
Yeah.
Have it as a shield because I left mine back in the base.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you're gonna bury it for him.
Probably be better to bury his actual body.
Yeah.
Under lava, just like the Templars would want. The shield's metal, right?
Oh yeah, it's metal.
Good.
Okay, so about
is there any way I can request a set of like leather armor?
yeah, there are leathers.
Perfect.
All of them have the Templar symbol carved into them, but yeah, you can get them.
And it's just a aesthetics carving. It's not something that'll block magic use.
No.
Perfect. Go. I'll see if I can get a set of that.
Okay. Yeah, they're just kind of. You're in camp. I think your Templars are just handing you guys stuff when you need it.
Do be aware that if you're not proficient with armor and you attempt to wear it, I believe it negates spellcasting.
Right.
I think sorcerers are proficient with light armor.
I'll have to look it up, but I'll have it just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, it's decent as a backup if you want to go and cover as a rogue or whatever. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm definitely a scout. Yep, that's me. Scout makes scout hands.
So about midday, as you guys are milling about your own business, either procuring your equipment or whatever, getting ready for whatever comes next, a blast with no sound, a ripple of energy courses through the whole camp, like a strong gale force wind, flipping all the flags, even ripping some of them, causing a couple people who were like mid-step to collapse. This blast seems to come from the north. Kind of a flip side to this scale, Thokk. Suddenly, there is a ginormous explosion. And the whole place is going batshit insane.
Inside the
prison, the explosion comes from what you kind of remember the direction of the conjuration rooms.
Okay. Oh fuck.
In Emperor's New Groove fashion, the camera zooms back to the Templar camp as a lot of people shaken up and a lot of people who are sleeping kind of get up and try to figure out what's happening around them. Like, whoa. It's shortly after that, a messenger arrives and finds you guys, and he goes, "Oh, dude. Well, sorry. The commander has requested your presence at the war tent."
Sounds good, dude.
Nod. All right, dude.
All right, dude. He walks back with you guys. Do you know what that was?
That's a good question. DM, do I know what that was?
Off the top of your head, you have never heard of anything doing something like this, without any sort of source nearby.
That was definitely us collapsing the entire plane of fire.
However, you can kind of assume that your plan may have finally gone into place, that they were trying to continue their process of building their armies and ended up blowing it up instead. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to stop that lava flow.
Yes.
I have a good idea of what that was.
I just kind of do that, like you scratch your chin and then snap your fingers, like, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that thing.
The guy kind of looks at you guys and says, "I hope it was good for our side." And then
you gotta swag walk into his tent now.
Guess what that was? He's mourning his wife, and they're like, "We're awesome."
They're not mutually exclusive. He can mourn his wife, and we can be awesome.
As you guys begin to approach, the messenger turns to you and says, to warn you, the commander is kind of in a bad mood, and he's currently in a verbal fighting match with someone else. Good luck. And then he walks away before you guys reach fully to the tent. And as you do approach the tent, you hear a lot of screaming. a lot of yelling between two people, one of which you recognize the voice of Calamance in a very different way than usual.
Time to walk in, totally nonchalant.
They seem to be screaming about the fact that he sent Thokk in to die, as well as the fact that he sent the few people he actually was starting to trust in to die.
Sideways check, but there was a GIF in Discord.
That was a
Oh
good
no.
one. That was a good one.
Nope. There we go. I was able to show everybody.
It's not moving on my screen, but I know what it is.
Mouse over it and it should work.
It's yeah, whatever.
Which is being returned by "They're my men, he's my son. I lost 2 members of my family today. You lost none." Stuff like that. The screaming goes on a little bit, and then they notice you enter, and they kind of gather it together. Duncan turns to you and goes, "Please tell me that was you. The explosion."
That was part of Thokk's plans, yes.
Calamance just turns around and goes, "Oh, at least he went out with a good plan." That's not his voice. It's deeper. At least he went out with a good plan. What? Give me. Let me tell you what ended up happening after you left. We charged our men forward, and we handily took the mage's front line, which brought out archmages, which, as I said, I was going to deal with. However, my late wife decided she wasn't going to listen and joined me in the front line, which at the time I wasn't going to complain. And she took on some of the archmages herself, did very gallantly, and then our greatest fears were realized when the Grand Mage made his own appearance and stole her soul.
I will look very flustered at that, like very, very stern.
Yep,
The mention of stealing her soul.
Yeah, that kind of gave everybody a little twinge of, what the fuck. Like, now we're super interested because that's
most of the time. Far
necromantic.
Traveler has a complete neutral expression, but at the mention of stealing a soul, he looks pretty agitated.
This might be a new development, but I fear he has become a lich. Sadly, she was having a very good time killing mages and did not realize who she was fighting. It's likely she was slowly dying as this was happening, before it was happening, as she was taking hits after hits, and yes. So, she died happily, even though she died horribly. He takes a moment just to kind of regather himself. And as he does, Calamance turns to you and says, "You two have surprised me again. Though I'm sad to say that you've lost a few good men, and Ellie.
Shitting on Nate right now. It's awesome.
He says it like that, but there's a slight twinge to his voice, like really wishes she survived. I knew I'd get a fuck you out of Nate. I suggest that Calaman speaking. I need to actually get the voice right so I don't sound like the same thing both times. Calaman speaking says, I wish nothing more than the safe retrieval of Thokk. However, your commander, our commander, does not think it worthwhile. And he has suggested to send you guys to boot camp.
It'd probably be a bad idea.
He looks over at Decked and
Who is very blue.
oh yeah, I forgot. Realizes that you're very blue. Closes his eyes,
I
shakes
would
his head. Says, I disagree. And he has decided that it will be your choice. Otherwise, if you decide against it, you'll be under my care again.
That's gonna be a hard no on my part.
I don't see how going to boot camp could further my role as a ambassador.
I don't think you can
That sounds
force
more
an
like
ambassador into military service for another nation.
yeah, that sounds more like indoctrination, conscription, rather than actually fulfilling my job.
And me for other reasons.
Gallivant's kind of he gives you a quick smile and then goes away and it's like, I expected as much. And Duncan's like, you are both foolish. I would have sent you to the best academies, but I've agreed to respect this wish. He turns.
Just look at him and say, foolishness apparently gets results. Where the wise fear to tread, the foolish go happily.
Speaking of foolishness, you're not going to try and rescue Thokk?
It's a fool's game. He's a bargaining chip. Not worth losing. Or not
You're
worth
really going
retrieving.
You're really going to lose your wife and your son on the same day?
Do not lecture me about family. Turns to Calumet, says, you have your order. You will not lose more men to this. Out of my tent, my camp. I don't care what you do. Just get out of my tent. And he turns away and slams his sword against the war table, and Calamance gives him a glance, shakes his head, and begins to walk out, motions for you to follow.
Follow.
Yeah.
Calamance walks out and says, what takes you guys away from camp actually a little ways before turning and speaking, and says, yeah, we're not doing that. Then he sits down on a nearby stump. I have a plan. Well, kind of a plan. You're not Dublos. And I'm sorry to say that if you are gone, I'm not disobeying orders, I'm just not technically following. We need to save Thokk. He's a lot more important than his father thinks. That whole
So how
family is
much of
broken.
how much of a plan do you have?
It's in the works.
What did you say? What did you say? Something is broken.
The
That
family
whole
is broken.
family.
That whole
Oh.
family is broken. And I think now it's only going to get worse. But I'll let Thokk say more. Yes. You will be meeting someone tonight. And I must ask you, but I cannot tell you, to once more infiltrate the mage's hideout. The previous entrance will probably be more guarded. And if
If it exists.
what you say is true, it might not exist. It's likely that the main hideout will survive, though whatever you did will take a large toll on them. So, tonight is a good chance to go back. Will you do this?
Yes.
Without hesitation.
Thank you. You are no longer under Templar order here. I cannot let you say so either. Do I have your word?
I nod.
You do. You have my word.
Thank you. I trust you. I feel like you probably like Thokk more than his father does, so at least you will give him back. Do what you can. He stands up. Before I go find my contact. Any questions for me?
Any idea what they would have done with Xerxes' soul?
They will either use it to fill some undying need of a lich, or they will use it to bargain against Commander Atreides, and that is my fear. If you can find it, release it, please. But avoid the Grand Mage at all costs. But I will say, if my contact works out, you might be able to very simply and still be able to do this. They have a reputation for getting into places they shouldn't and getting out without being known.
We almost did that.
It's an odd reputation to have.
It's not a reputation that most know, actually. I've said too much.
That's an oxymoron of a reputation.
Yeah. Not many know about your reputation. Well,
It's a reputation within circles of darker figures. That's all I can say.
let's do this.
Okay. I need to return back to camp, as if nothing has happened. I suggest you do the same. Well, after I contact. Go. And he turns and heads towards the forest nearby.
Okay. I'm gonna wander back amongst the supply tents and stuff and look for a Dungeoneer's pack. At the very, very least, I'm gonna look for rope.
Okay. There really isn't Dungeoneer's packs, but there is plenty of rope.
I'm gonna take some rope.
Okay. How much would you like?
Yes.
Yes. The guy's like, well, standard issue, we give out 30. Is that gonna be enough?
No.
We can do 60.
Better.
You just imagine the guy like just coiling rope and looking at Far Traveler, and Far Traveler's just staring at him, and he's like, just keeps putting out rope.
Keeps going.
That's actually a pretty accurate statement of how that would go.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. 90. That's all I got. I mean, I can't do much more than that. 90.
If 90's all he's got, then I'll take it.
Oh. Gives you a look like he's just been interrogated without being like spoken to. That guy was weird.
If you're wondering, yes, he's always like that.
Oh.
As we leave the table.
Those two don't really seem like Templars.
Who did you just give rope to?
If
Is
they
that
actually
you
look
saying
at me, I do have that shield with the Templar crest on it on my back.
That's true. As you walk away, they're like, "Oh, it has the symbols." Oh, well, damn it.
So to get rid of people kind of asking that question, that leather armor that I have, can I take a piece of it? You know, like a cuff or vambrace that has a mark on it, and just wear it without that impeding me. So I have a mark.
Yeah, you can wear like a piece or two of it that has the marks without ruining anything.
Cool. I'll just wear the vambraces then.
Okay. Did you do anything before nightfall?
I think we just need to be inconspicuous about working with Calamance. Other than that, I don't think there's anything to do. Sorry, not working with Calamance anymore. We don't work for anybody anymore.
Right.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Right.
You don't see anything.
Okay, so we'll pull back into the mage's headquarters then. Thokk. The whole day has been a general shit show in front of you. Kind of entertaining for someone in your position. Mage is running.
Right when I figure out the source was from us, I'm just gonna laugh the entire time.
You see mages running back and forth. You hear someone say, "The planes are leaking!" running across. You see what seems to be a high-class mage, probably an archmage, frantically running. Oh! Everyone's freaking out. A lot of the creatures that are in front of you, just kind of chilling, are like looking around. The Fae are laughing their asses off. The demons and devils are doing the same. Mostly the devils. Or the demons, sorry. The devils are kind of like mortals. The angels are actually flying around trying to help whatever is happening. Happens in the restroom with leaky lava tubes. No one really pays you any mind all day. You don't even get the food and drink. You're actually starting to get like extremely hungry and thirsty by the end of it. But nothing that a regular person couldn't shrug off at this point. You probably have another day without getting water, though. Only one.
Okay.
By the end of the day, it kind of calms down a bit. There's still people moving around pretty hastily, trying to get from place to place. And in comes your friend, the Inquisitor.
Okay. Right when I see his face, I'm gonna like clear, like, blank of emotion, like looking pissed. Before where his giggles, now it's just like,
You and your friends have fucked up. He immediately pulls out an iron prod and stabs you directly into the gut. Go ahead and make a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Ooh.
okay.
Ooh, that's rough.
So
Seven?
17.
Damn! This day has just bolstered your ability to not care about this guy. And he digs it in there. I'd kill you if I was told not to. Sorry. How impolite. He sits down. He flicks his rod and the heat turns off and he sheathes it. Where were we yesterday? Right, you didn't tell me what you and your friends did. Well, apparently, we all found out. Do you know what you have done? What you have created?
Well, I mean, right before the explosion, I farted, so I'm only guessing that I caused that. My bad.
You have created a rift. And currently, we're doing our best. Why am I telling you this? Tomorrow, you will be moved. And you will be traded. And we will get these damn Templars to stop fighting.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I know what a rift is?
Sure. No idea.
Oh,
It's when you
whatever.
take your loot and you just kind of hit it really fast.
A riff.
Well, if that's a band playing, it's a pretty shitty band.
Yeah, I'm done with you. And he leaves. It seems he didn't come in there to interrogate you today. He just came in there to stab you really, really hard in the stomach.
Don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Go back to giggling.
About an hour after he visits you, people begin what seems to be an evacuation. People are running around with gear and extra stuff, trying to get out.
I actually did think of one thing to suggest doing during the downtime while we wait. And that's suggesting that Jack try and do some alchemical work.
Sure. On what do you think?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about alchemy. Duncan wanted you to try and reinforce the symbols, but I don't know what that means.
Go ahead and do an alchemist kit check, intelligence based. And you can just be working with a symbol, one of the symbols, if you wish.
Nice.
So I'm just Just like slapping the symbols with an alchemy kit. Like, I don't know.
So you're working on some guy's like shield. He's like, "Yeah, if that's your job," and you're just kind of working on it, and then all of a sudden you realize that the faint glow of the alchemy powers fade away and go away, and you're just like, "Here you go, thank you," and walk away.
Some poor bastard's gonna. But I have my shield. Nothing happens.
Boom. Okay. Yeah. So Thokk, you in your waiting, notice that everyone seems to be leaving, including the creatures that have been summoned. A lot of them are going through portals that have been opened around them, and you're not sure where they're headed.
Okay.
All right. So, nighttime arrives. Sounds like I'm getting a message.
Guessing it's from Nate.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second. We are doing little chats.
Little chat.
Little chats. Okay.
Little chat.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that in whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. And you guys are approached while you kind of do your business. You are both approached by a half-elf Templar, actually.
I have been sent to escort you out of the camp for the evening.
By who?
Lord Calamence said that you were to join him at his location.
Okay.
So hearing that, I kind of get off the floor, sitting crisscross applesauce with an alchemy kit, and just kind of like looking confused. I'm like, oh god, thank God, and leave what I was doing.
Okay.
I bow and gesture towards the general direction of the front line. This way, please.
I walk on.
Okay.
And I will lead them out of camp, not like directly towards the front line, but out, and then as soon as we're out of sight of the camp, head straight for wherever our information for the entrance is, where the base is.
So the main entrance is actually by where the fighting was, and it's the only known entrance at this point.
Okay, so yeah, we'll head that direction once we get out of the camp.
Okay. Do you do anything in the meantime, or do you just keep walking that way?
I'm just walking that direction.
Calamence doesn't seem to be near the camp, as your escort, she, brings you quite a ways north.
Yeah, just saying Calamence wanted us to go somewhere is good enough to be the tip-off that we should go with this person.
Okay.
I sure hope it's not a mage assassin. Ha ha ha.
Suddenly it turns on you and stabs you in the back.
I rage and poke it.
Rage poke?
Right in the boob, because that hurts a lot.
Ooh. Hurts on dudes. I can only imagine.
Completely straight face. Please do not.
Well, if you didn't assassinate me, then none of this happened.
I'm sorry? If in case you had not picked up on it, I am the infiltration specialist that Calamence contacted.
Yeah, your reputation precedes you, except when it doesn't, because you don't have a reputation.
Perfect.
Jack just kind of contains a laugh. Just oops, sorry.
Would you like me to show them your picture?
Yeah,
Or
go for it.
All right.
I am dressed in full plate right now, and more of my face showing, but that's the general.
Oh no. Can you share it again? I accidentally clicked off of it.
I can't. Maybe. There it goes.
Oh snap.
Yeah. Okay.
I will be right back. Continue.
All right. So you are taken, or you lead them, or you guys go as a group together towards the north. And let's do that. Is there any sort of marching order, preferred marching order at this point?
Well, if we're being led, I assume she's in front. I'll probably be between her and Jack.
Okay. You guys walk for a while until you are able to find the smoldering remains of the battlefield.
I want, before we get out like into the open plain, I want to find a little bit of cover so I can step behind a tree or something.
Okay, you'll definitely have to follow the forest, which really isn't direct, but you can move over
It
there.
doesn't have to be like I need to change, and I don't want to do it in the presence of men.
Yeah, with the area you're in, you're gonna have to go all the way over to the forest to find cover, unless like you have them turn around and close their eyes.
What are we gonna do? Look in a mirror out here?
All right. Give
They
me a
don't.
moment.
They can't really see if you turn off the lights.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I will have them turn around so I can change.
Need you to turn around. Why? I need to change. Oh. Okay. I'll turn around and like grab Jack by the shoulder and physically turn him around because he's what, 19?
Thank you.
Wait, what did I miss?
Nothing. You see
I'm
nothing.
changing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And then I finish and I'm dressed as a mage.
Okay. So
Nice.
now she is in robes and meiji garbs. Stealth check to see if you peek.
Okay.
Oh no.
Do you actually try peeking?
A little bit. My character's 19, of course.
Well, I'm gonna disappoint you a little bit then. You see,
a dick.
no, there's a little bit of mystique shenanigans happening. I change magically.
Oh, cool though. Like, did you guys ever play The Witcher?
Disappointment.
No.
Surely you mean curiosity.
So, okay, continue. I'll find something else.
Okay.
All right. So the changing process is a success, except for may eject. Now you've reached. We'll say you reached the battlefield plains. The earth here is scarred. It's trampled. It's burnt. It's in places it's frozen over. In other places it looks just plagued. It's fairly disgusting. Many.
And all of it looks like it's been hit by a giant shockwave. I mean, what?
Yes. The shockwave seems to have rolled the bodies over. You can actually tell in some places where the bodies may have been planted for a while, they rolled. And yes, they have not cleaned up very well.
Ooh.
The casualties are great. The mage side is actually heavier in casualties. However, your group knows that they have other members. You don't find anything in sorts of demons, devils, fays, elementals, anything like that in this area. Just humanoid mages.
Looking over the carnage, are there any mage robes around?
It takes a little looking, but you do find some that aren't too badly damaged.
Scavenge up some.
Okay. You'll be able to find enough for everybody.
I nod approvingly.
As you traverse the battlefield, make. Let's see. Are you guys walking around with any sort of light?
No.
I'm
Not
not.
aside from the ambient lighting of an open field, no.
Yeah. So go ahead and make perception checks. Those of you without dark vision do at disadvantage.
Cool.
All right. Far Traveler and the Lyra? Lee? Whatever you want to be called.
Lee. Yeah.
Lee.
At some point, I would introduce myself as Lee.
Okay. So, Lee and Far Traveler, you notice a small band of 4 people kind of wandering through the area.
Are they using light?
They're not.
When I notice them, I kind of tap on Far Traveler's shoulder because he's the bigger one, and I start to do like some sort of sign language, but then I switch over to a whisper. There are mages up ahead.
What do we do about it, infiltration specialist?
This is not part of getting in. This is a complication.
Those seem identical.
How far away are we from where we think the entrance is?
The entrance is probably on the lake, which will be another 150 feet away.
Okay. Only 150 feet. Okay, that's not bad. And then what do these people seem to be doing?
They're checking bodies. They seem to be looking for survivors or maybe loot on Templar bodies. Though there really isn't much on them. But mostly just survivors.
I'm going to pass eject one of the set of mage robes, and I'm going to, without causing a lot of commotion, like minimalistic movement, put one on.
Okay, go ahead, everyone makes stealth checks. Do a group stealth roll.
Ooh.
Wow, very
better
nice.
than a 4.
That's better than a 4.
Yeah. So nice when we don't have people in full plate.
Yeah. All of you feel pretty confident that you are able to disguise yourself and hide yourself in the area from the mages over there at this point. So yes, you're able to get the robes on without attracting attention.
Are there any mage weapons like quarterstaves or books or ceremonial daggers or anything like that?
There are some books. Most of them are damaged. Quarterstaffs also the same, but there do remain a few partially remaining ones, and then there are daggers around.
I'll snag a book and tell Lee maybe we can go with them if they're looking for survivors.
I nod and stand up and start walking towards them.
Okay. As you,
I'll be holding my book prominently in front of me in my left hand, so it's mostly visible instead of, my statuesque frame. You're like, oh, he's got a book and robes, he's fine.
okay. Jack, how are you presenting yourself?
I walk around with a quarterstaff anyway, so I'll just use it as a walking stick.
Okay, and Lee, how are you presenting yourself?
I'm walking confidently towards them. I do have a question. I have the background feature ear to the ground, which gives me I have sources to get information on my targets.
Mm-hmm.
So would I have information on like how they greet each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their greeting phrase is actually the greeting phrase is magic abound, magic abound.
Sure, that
Magic
works.
buns.
Magic buttons, no, magic abound.
After Lee says that very confident, just kind of like, oh, magic bomb. Just kind of took me by surprise.
Magic
Have you all
abound.
found any survivors yet?
The group is comprised of 3 elves and a dwarf. And they kind of look solemn and say, no, sadly, that's everything seems to be dead, except for you.
I fear we will have no more luck tonight. Perhaps we should return.
Oh, you were the other party. Of course. Excuse me. Yes. I think you are correct. I think we've looked enough. And they motion to walk with them, and they walk north towards the lake and say, these Templars are just so savage. They leave none alive if they can get their hands on them.
Yes, quite. It is intimidating almost.
Yes. It's just we were lucky we were in the back lines for most of the fight as our artillery. Just horrible.
Perhaps we'll have more luck tomorrow.
I fear that with 2 days, the survivors, if there were any, won't be alive any longer. This was their last chance. I don't think there were any, to be honest. The group of 4 leads you to the edge of the lake, and one of the elves says, would you do the honors? Pointing to a spot on the ground that looks no different than the rest of the ground.
Was it a password or was it just channeling magic?
Yeah, this is the same stuff that happened with the guards, right?
Yeah.
I remember exactly what he said, unfortunately.
All right, we're gonna take the gamble, guys.
Wait, no. There was a password, right?
Okay, if you guys know what it is, go for it, yeah.
Or was there not?
I honestly don't remember.
I remember what it was.
That doesn't help us. Okay.
That's fine because I don't remember what my character knows.
I'll
physically, I've had a 24-hour day since the last time we played, so don't expect my memory to be my character's memory. We were here 16 hours ago? What happened then? How did we get in?
Right. I'm wondering if Joe actually does remember.
I do.
All right, go ahead and say it.
I whispered it to you.
I was
We
one
did
of
like weird. We did like weird hand stuff.
That's right. Weird hand stuff. It was Asha. He.
That's
Asha.
exactly how you said it.
Hookah.
That's exactly how you
I
Yeah,
will
'cause we-
prompt Jekt and say, please open it with the pass.
Okay, you know it, but I'm going to expect you to say it with feeling.
All right. So what was it again? I'll do this.
Okay.
I'll type it.
Asha. He. Hookah.
Okay. So Jack's standing there with his robes, kind of puts down his quarterstaff and kind of puts his hands together, and then does one of these types of motions, like he's doing Tai Chi, and
Just
says,
like he saw before?
"Yep, Asha he Hagar," towards the spot they indicated.
Okay. The spot shakes for a little bit and opens up. And one of the other mages goes, "That's not a password I've heard." And then one of the others is like, "I think that's a higher up one." Oh, interesting.
Sweet. I looked just as surprised as they do.
As they're walking
Okay.
down the steps, fairy lights and the like torches, ever burning torches, light a passageway that leads down again under the lake. And as they kind of get a look at you guys, they go, "Huh, I've never seen you before." Turning to Far Traveler. Any response?
No.
Stares at you.
Yeah, I don't say anything.
Why would they have a human without light looking for survivors?
I'm not a human.
Not you, sorry.
He's definitely not human.
Oh, he's blue. He's not human.
And the other one's blue.
Yeah, I look human-ish, but very blue.
Right.
Hindu-ish.
But the other guy who's on Far Traveler is like, I don't know your race. Can you see well in the dark?
I see well enough to function.
Okay. They head down. The passage is very similar to last time. It takes you a little ways down, probably magically like before. And the other two are kind of, or the other group is talking within themselves, and sometimes back to you guys, but usually just within themselves, and talking about how the whole conjuring pits and rooms have been blown up, flooded, and that a rift has opened.
I've heard rumors that it was an inside job.
Well, if their attention is not directed to us while we're going down, I'm gonna reallocate my clothing to more cover my face.
Okay.
That
Sort of
one of
like
the archmages engineered the entire explosion.
That would make sense. Who else would be able to mess with our materials? You're right. Who do you think it is? Okay. Wearing it across the face. You can easily do that with the hood that comes with it. Just like pin it or something. Do you guys think like, yeah, that one guy, I don't remember his name. He was
It's
just,
beyond me.
man, I think you're right. Dude, I could get a promotion for this. I thought of it. No, it was me. And they start kind of bickering on the way down.
Who would give you a promotion? What if the person that you go to is the one that's behind it? You would be killed instantly.
You're right. What about the Grand Mage? He wouldn't have done this. Oh, I think he left. You're right.
The best option might be just for us to escape while we can. The war with the Templars doesn't seem to be going well anyway.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check or a deception check, whichever.
I would prefer a deception.
Okay.
Oh,
Snap.
Wow. The four of them just look at each other and go, we did really well by ourselves when it's the four of us, which is you guys are on your own, and they start walking up the stairs or the pathway back out.
we'll cover for you.
What was that, Far Traveler?
I grumble in Dwarvish, leaving your post.
No post is worth this, says the dwarf. Alright, you guys are alone in this passageway.
Cool.
I'll actually basically face the direction of Lee and say, I can't see anything, actually.
You can't see it, but I nod and keep walking.
This pathway is lit. Actually
This
seems
pathway is fucking lit.
fucking lit. Currently, it seems rather small to move a whole army, but magic is weird, so it's possible they
Okay,
just.
let me rephrase that. I actually can't see in the dark. Don't take that for face value.
I can't see. Blind. Oh. Inspiration to Lee.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's my first inspiration.
Woo! He built a charisma-based class and got inspiration immediately.
Weird.
Pretty stupidly good at making mages leave the room. Yeah. Alright, so you guys head down this path, and it opens up into
I assume it's very obvious, but if the shield is visible, the symbol on the shield is absolutely not.
understandable.
Just pointing that out. If it's not super obvious.
Okay. You open up. This passageway opens up into a room that is similar to a beehive, in that it has cells lining the walls until it reaches the bottom, which is kind of cylindrical in nature, and the fact that it's big and round and it's a circle, a big circle on the bottom. Here there is an assortment of mages and some, though not very many, fae and fiends, celestials, and the conjured creatures, elementals as well. Some of the cells look like actual prison cells. Some of them actually just look like holding areas for things such as like supplies, and even big enough ones where you could fit whole platoons of mages. Like comfortably with chairs, tables, like a dining mess hall. So there are a variety of sizes. It doesn't really feel like they should fit, but magic is weird. So extra dimensional spaces.
I will address Lee. Okay, it's time for you to get to work. We need to find Thokk.
All right.
While when you enter, also, there are mages going back and forth rather quickly. They seem to be doing some sort of evacuation.
I grab somebody that's rushing by and say, "We've just returned from the corpse recovery. What is going on?"
They didn't send news to you guys? Oh my gosh, I mean, it's going crazy in here. The rift is getting out of hand. We're closing off this entire section and moving farther into the base, and a lot of people are actually moving back to town.
We were to report to guard duty for the prison block. Where is the commander?
I don't know. Things are going so crazy right now. Try his quarters in the next section over, and he points to one of the cells that leads off like a passageway.
Oh, baby, that was better than I was hoping for. Okay, thank you.
Good luck. And he's I'm supposed to go through one of those portals, and he runs away. He actually points to one of the cells that has a giant, like if you think of like a regular 10 by 10 wall, is completely covered in this shimmering substance, which people are running into and disappearing.
Okay. Then I'm going to head that direction and beckon for the other two to follow.
Head towards the portal or the passageway?
The 9 where the guy just pointed us to talk to the commander.
Well done, boys. Well done.
Platform 9 and get the fuck out. There you go.
He was gonna say the same thing.
All right. Most people don't even pay you any mind. They're focused on leaving.
And we should move quickly.
Yes.
Yes. We want to move hastily.
Okay. You do so as you move quickly, looking like you're important, and just like everyone else trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, you kind of run into a bottleneck of people trying to get to that passage. Eventually, you do get in. Once you're in, the passage seems to go like pretty quickly. You run across it like there's no one there. It seems to be this weird dimensional walkway. On the other end is a man dressed in leathers, sitting there tapping his sword. He goes, "All
How
right."
important does he look?
Fairly important. He's probably in charge of this portal or this passage walkway. He kind of just like tapping his thing, mumbling to himself about overstressing the passage.
I walk towards him and bow. I would say magic abound.
Magic abound.
We were reassigned by, and I'm going to name one of the archmages that the other group was whispering about might be behind everything.
When they were talking about rumors about who could do it, it was probably blah,
exactly.
Blah, blah.
I'm gonna use one of those names and say we were reassigned by this person to
call him
prisoner What was it?
Germund.
Germund, perfect. We were reassigned by Germund for prisoner transport.
Oh. Oh, we only have the one. You missed him. He's in the other section.
Elmire and Forvish, such chaos.
I'll agree with it.
He's a human. He just looks at you and goes, "What? Oh, sadly, we're only sending people one way through this passage. There's nothing going the other right now."
So, what is the best route to his location?
I don't have one. You'd have to find an officer to halt the flow of the traffic through that passage, and then have them take you through.
Which officer is available right now, and where can we find them?
It's he's like fumbling through his mind, trying to figure out all this stuff. Oh God, I think Gurk. I think Gurk was available. Yeah, Gurk.
Okay. And do you know where Gurk is right now?
Probably in his office. I mean, he's the only one that's forced to do all the paperwork for moving people. This many people. Everyone else is busy moving people.
And since we have to navigate these one-way passageways, what's going to be the best way to get to his office?
Oh, well, let's see. You take 4A, cross to there, and then once you're in 4A,
I never stopped to memorize the letters. I'm a visual person.
Oh my
God. Okay, 4th floor. The area you're in is very similar to the one you were just in. So it's okay. 4th floor. Facing north. First one.
Okay.
Do that. Then his is 5C. So 5th floor, clockwise ABC from north.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's a super easy system. And transfer mages.
It is. I think a little bit differently, and it helps me, get my magic working, but it doesn't do well when people try and lay things out logically. I'm more of an artistic person. I like to express myself through my magic, but then, things always go a little weird sometimes, and so, you know how that is.
Look, man, I'm in charge
clear
of
my
the
throat and say we should go.
Right. We should get going. Thank you so much. And I'll walk off.
Okay. Thokk. Your cell is entered by 2 mages. And they look at you and like, all right, we got to get you moved. And they start to unhook you from your binds. Like the magical tendrils, they undo those. There is an opportunity for you to do something.
Oh, yes. You fucking know it. So once both of my tendrils are removed, for my feet as well, I'm gonna act like I submit. But then I want to attempt to get both of them in a headlock and squeeze as fucking hard as I can.
Okay. So first they would do your feet. They'd do your feet so you could stand when they undo your hands. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
I do have.
No.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, go ahead and make 2 since you're making 2 attacks. So the first one.
That's a little better.
You try to wrap your arm around him. He goes, whoa, and gets out of the way. The second one, definitely can't beat that. So you just grab him around the head.
Run and your mage friend dies. Scream and your mage friend dies. Come into this cell right now.
He goes, whoa, man, it's gonna be okay. And then starts to move his hands. If
I squeeze harder.
Alright, he casts a spell. Make a wisdom save. Oh, that's a pass. You feel him, a soft voice in your mind say, let go. And you're like, crunch. I'll go ahead and roll a strength check.
Shit.
That's a strength save.
Oh, okay. So what's the check?
You just click the word strength, not strength save. It's slightly more to the left.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Wow. That's the right way of doing it. Go ahead and make another. Because you have 2 attempts at this.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Muscles are super sore, bruh.
You have
Yeah.
atrophy from being tied to a table for a day.
Probably.
Okay, go ahead and make an opposed athletics check as the guy tries to squirm out.
The guy who I'm
Holding.
got it. There you go.
Okay, she tries to squirm, but you hold on tight. The other guy seeing his spell not work goes,
Come into the cell right now.
well, he's in the cell with you.
So, this mechanism that kept me, is it transparent, or could I hide behind it if I wanted to?
So it's in like an arch with no actual like anything under the arch. Just it's empty, and then the tendrils attached to the arch to
Okay, so
certain
there's
spots.
nothing to necessarily hide in here.
Correct.
One of those things.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Correct. It is actually based on The Incredibles.
Lol. He
Except
also
it's
described it as like Star Wars too.
yeah, that
Same.
too.
Lol.
Actually, might be remembering the wrong thing. That's okay. Yes, more of The Incredibles than what I was thinking. Actually.
Okay, got it.
However, you were unable to move your arms like he did in that because his strength
Right.
is 30.
I'm not that strong.
Anyways, moving forward. He goes, and he does the same motions. What? Another wisdom save. As the little voice in your head goes, let go, let it go. And you're like, fuck you. As you don't.
One more time, and I'm going to come after you next. I will not hurt you. Come into the cell. I want to talk to you.
He's in the cell.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Now, I want you to come closer. I don't want anyone else hearing this.
Yeah, it takes a step closer.
Closer.
Uh-uh.
No, this is very vital information that I need to pass on to you to give as a message to the King Mage.
You're just gonna headlock me like my friend.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
You
shit.
have 2 attack action rolls. You can either squeeze or attempt to grab the guy.
I'm going to attempt to grab the other guy.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yeah, athletics.
Fuck.
Wow.
Nice.
You like kind of weakly reach forward, but he trips into your arm. Gah! Got him.
Alright.
The other guy's like, you're an idiot.
Now I want to break both of their necks.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay.
That's better. You crush them a little bit, but they're like still alive. They're both going to try to escape, so make 2 athletics checks to hold on. All right. You go ahead and make another strength check to try crushing the life out of them.
Doing it. Yeah.
Okay. There go. Both of them. Necks broken.
All right. So now, I want to take one of the robes off and put it on.
Okay.
And is it possible for me to put one of them into the cell, like into the holdings? Like bind one of their wrists so it looks like they're in prison instead?
If you rifle through their things, you are able to find a key that will unlock your bindings and bind them.
Okay. All right, so is there enough room in this thing for 2 people?
No.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, back to the other group. Shifting cameras as this is happening simultaneously. You guys are heading through the path to get to the guy, Greg, right?
Yes.
We should proceed quickly.
Right, because it sounds like Gurky.
Yes.
Yes. You guys hastily run, and you find, after following the instructions and going through a couple more bottlenecks, a halfling staring at a bunch of paperwork, staring at the chaos outside, and going, "How am I supposed to do this?" He sees you guys coming, goes, "Come in, magic abound." Sorry. What's that? Okay, what? How may I help you?
We're the mages reassigned by Gurmund to retrieve the prisoner and transport him to a new area.
I just sent people to do that.
Gurmund has asked us to do it personally for him.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Okay.
Is there a way I can assist him?
Sure. Is there anything you would like to say to assist him? Voiced by Dawn
Say-
Watts.
Why are there so many ostriches? They said there'd only be a few ostriches.
Why are there so many things? Yes, what would you like to say to help?
I'll say, sir, I know times are tough, but we're here to help relieve some of the stress.
Go ahead and make your roll at advantage.
Sweet. That's not the right.
That's history.
No.
So 16 plus 7 is 23. Okay. He's like,
Oh, that works. Yeah.
oh. Okay. Why am I needed?
Because to get to his cell, we have to go the wrong way down some of the one-way passages.
Why I can't leave? Look what I have to do.
I'm
What
gonna
does he have to do?
I'm gonna flick out some of the blood that's on my robes because my robes were not pristine, and say, "It's a war raging. We need to do what we need to do. Let's move."
Ooh.
Okay. He picks up a badge. He's like, "Follow me," and he starts kind of half-heartedly walking out the door.
With haste, please. There is a war going on.
Right. Are you guys able to guess Misty Step so we could just kind of hurry this along?
No, we're backline mages.
I can.
Oh. I didn't
So
realize you had been training for that. Okay.
That's a new trick that I've learned.
Well, I guess
Not
we'll
all of us,
just
though.
walk. And he kind of starts to hardly saunter forward.
I'm gonna physically pick him up by under the arms and get a move on.
He starts to squirrel like one of those anime characters that gets picked up, like, ah, but he doesn't really put up much of a fight. Thokk! You have successfully swapped places with Mage. What are you doing?
So I'm wearing the robes now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I want to like have the other so one is in the prison and the other one is not. So I'm going to like dress him up in like prisoner clothes, if it's clothes underneath his robes.
You could definitely derobe him to his skivvies.
Okay. And I want to like hoist him over my shoulder and walk out like he was a prisoner and he is the one being transported.
Oh man, I knew this was gonna happen. It's gonna be great though.
Yeah, this is fine.
This is fine.
That reminds me of the meme with the dog that's like burning. This is fine.
Yeah,
This
Everything's
is
fine. Everything is going as planned.
And I
Where...
want to like mess up his face a little bit just so he's not recognizable.
Just punching a dead body.
His face now looks like a big ass fist print. His neck is all like red and swollen. Actually, it wouldn't swell, it's just red and marked up.
Hood overhead as much as possible to hide my face.
Okay. Oh my. Okay. Where are you gonna take him?
Well. Shit.
There are two obvious places where people are running through the previous portal in that passageway.
I wish I knew, like, my metagame, I know what the party's doing, but...
What would
This is
Thokk
fine.
do?
Do you think,
What?
man?
What would
Right.
Thokk do?
Thokk would,
Punch a dead guy in the face.
You already
Yes.
did that.
go in the direction the crowd is going. Is that towards the party or away from the party? Not your face! Your face! I'm just gonna stay in the cell. I'm just gonna stay in the cell.
You're gonna stay in the cell?
Yeah, I'm gonna like do it, taking my time, like right when I'm about to hoist the person, and then Joe is going to hope that like the people show up at that time.
Not that lucky. Do an insight check.
Okay. Nice.
Wow. Thokk decides to think. He's like, well, passageway was just connecting to here. The portal probably would leave completely. But there might be a way of getting out, where the mages would have left to the surface.
I'll go there.
Yes, that.
Sadly for Thokk, you're on the 4th level down. And there's about 26 rooms per level and 10 levels.
Okay.
You have no clue where you're going. Is there anything you want to look for?
Well,
actually, since you are there, the crowd is mostly going that way. But the crowd around you is going through the passage.
That's the passage to the surface, right?
The passage that stays within. Don't know where the passage to the surface is at this point. No one's running that way.
Okay.
Is there anywhere you'd like to head?
God. Joe wants to head towards the party, but
I'm sure Thokk does too, but where is he going to go?
he is going to try and hope that the crowd is going towards the surface. And so right now the party is currently like kind of going against the crowd, right? Like kind of walking upstream, kind of.
The party's going to start walking upstream. The crowd is heading to different sections of this area, of this
Okay.
this complex.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to follow the crowd?
Are there any empty cells nearby?
Most of the things are actually empty. There's no other prison cells though. They're all like different types of rooms.
Okay.
But
I
most
want
of
to
them
go
just
into
seem
another
small.
room and try to hide the body behind something.
Okay. Do a stealth check.
Well, like I do want to act like it's a prisoner, like when I walk out the cell, but whatever.
Okay.
No.
Just gonna look from side to side to see if anybody's coming and chuck the body into the room.
That's exactly what happens. You just kind of go. Someone does notice, and they go, what are you doing?
Transporting one of the prisoners, but he fell.
Do a deception check.
Give him
He
a nice
fell
hearty wink.
a lot.
He fell on his face repeatedly.
The guy goes.
Also,
Hmm?
shit, never mind. Do I get bonus for my aura or no? That's just for saves.
Saves.
Yeah,
saves.
saves.
The guy looks up at you and goes, "Was he a Templar?"
Yeah.
Then he deserved it, and then continues moving forward. Okay. Back to the rest of the party. You guys are following Don Knotts. Actually, you're
Yeah.
not following him at all. You're making him go with you now.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he's riding on Far Traveler's
we're talking
shoulders, right?
physics here. We are following him, but merely because he's suspended in front of me.
You're following him like a carrot, like a horse follows a carrot.
Sure.
You're pushing forward as he's approaching one of the passageways. He's like, he grabs his badge and quickly holds it up, and the passage starts to turn upside down. And then you guys run through. As you pass through, you enter as other people going in. You kind of go right past them. It's like, you're supposed to warn me.
You had plenty of warning in the office.
I guess. And he just holds up his badge and closes his eyes and prays.
I'm actually gonna tell him in his ear, we need to move quickly, part the crowd where we need to go, and sort of intuitively follow whichever way he's waving his badge.
he kind of he squints open his eyes and like points the badge in the direction people see it, and they're like, oh, they get out of the way for you guys, and you're able to quickly scamper to the other passage. Thokk. Around this time, you notice that a halfling holding his badge being carried by a rather tall, slender mage, followed by Jekt and someone else you don't know. Far Traveler has nowhere to go, but has a nice compass. They emerge, kind of in a line of people of them. But hey, there's Jekt.
So, do I
Slightly more
recognize
blue than
Far
you.
Traveler as well?
Kind of. He's hiding his face, but you are able to
Okay.
recognize the stature for sure.
Okay.
Everyone in the other group that knows Thokk, go ahead and make a perception check. Lee can too. You got a description.
Well, I would see someone transporting a prisoner. That's what I'm looking
No,
out for.
I threw that guy into another room.
Oh, okay.
I
see.
got
Oh,
some for this. Hopefully this goes the way I
no
want it
advantage.
to.
Just a 10.
Yeah.
I can make this work.
So you guys start running towards, technically through the crowd towards him. However, you don't notice him immediately. He is hiding his figure. Though he does seem to be discussing with someone about throwing a guy into a cell real quick before the guy moves on. And then he notices you.
So seeing Jekt and like seeing all this stuff, I would assume that they're trying to deceive their way to like get to me, and like my face lights up really quickly, but then like goes back to normal, and I'm like, and in kind of like a disguised voice, I'm like, "You're here for the prisoner, correct? The King Mage said he would take care of it personally. He said he could use him something, so he took him himself."
We were given different information. We were sent
The fifth's
by.
kind of a clusterfuck right now.
I will not currently at that statement.
We were sent by Gurmund to retrieve the prisoner.
Thokk,
Too
you have no
fucking
idea what that
bad.
name is.
Too fucking bad. Orders for us are to get out of here.
I'm gonna set down the halfling and say, look, make it out of here. Don't worry about the damn papers.
Once you guys are this close, you notice Thokk. But it's something weird about his face.
So I look at Thokk and I realize that it's Thokk, and I look at him and look at his face. I'm like, "What happened to your face?" And I turn and kind of throw up on the ground since I got a 1 perception.
Oh, okay.
What happened? Blah. It's so terrible. Blah.
What's wrong with your face?
So Jack is throwing up.
I'm not that ugly.
The halfling goes,
A face only your mother could. Oh.
I don't know what's happening anymore, and just kind of
Oh.
saunters away.
Oh,
Oh, I heard that on the cuffs. Oh my gosh, that's awful. The halfling starts to saunter away, or walk away half-heartedly again, going, back to the papers.
thank you for your assistance.
Just told him to ignore the papers.
Did you? I missed that completely.
Yeah, I told him that he needs to worry about getting out of here on his own and to not worry about the papers.
Says, thanks for your concern. I'll be okay over there. Once everybody's out, they'll close the passageway anyways. They'll be fine. He saunters away.
So once he's out of earshot and once like I can talk to the party, I'm like, oh my god, you guys are fucking best. Fucking love all of you. This place is a shithole. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Well,
I'm gonna brag my parents and all this.
I'm just gonna reach over and pull his hood across his face the same way mine is.
I stopped vomiting at that moment. That's better. Oh god.
You take 4 fireballs to the face and see if you look better.
Oh.
You don't know
I
what you
probably
look like.
wouldn't.
You just know your face hurts.
Oh, that's true. I'm not that ugly, God.
Do I have something on my face? As a little piece of flesh just kind of falls onto the floor.
Okay, what are you guys doing from here?
Well, how do we get out?
You're the infiltration and exfiltration expert. Figure it out.
I never said that second part.
Yeah, well, again,
no wonder
your reputation
doesn't precede
precedes you, except when it doesn't.
Thokk's just confused.
Okay, so we don't have a badge anymore. I think at this point we just have to go with the crowd.
Well, so if the guy reversed that to the kind of the portal or whatever it was that we walked through, as he walked back out, I think we can walk through that backwards again, can't we?
Do you need the badge?
Well, the badge just flipped the
No,
thing upside down, so we
does
walked
Lee need the badge for her plan to get out?
in.
We can't. No, we don't need the badge. What I'm saying is we can't go backwards through the tunnels, so we don't have any way to not go where everybody else is going.
It's really not hard for me to go take back the half-leg and the badge.
You're still in the actual section you're in. You guys are in the original section that you
He's
came
walking
into.
very, very mopily, so he's not hard to catch up to.
I mean, we can try and convince him that we need to go out on a special mission.
Or we could pick him up like a football and make him.
Okay. But we don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
That is true.
I mean, what do you guys want to do?
Leave.
Leave.
So at this time, from the east, a very loud roar echoes through your chamber. The line moves faster. They start pushing a
was that?
shovel. Something seems to be coming. And with a quick glance up to where the roar came from, all you see is a burning light.
Maybe I should go get that halfling back.
Maybe we should just go the opposite direction of that light.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go get that halfling back.
All right. You move over, and he's just kind of walking. He's not
Did he
even
not pay any
halfway
attention
there.
to that roar?
Right. The roar happens, and now he is facing towards the the cause, whatever it was, and is just staring
Yeah, I
blankly.
swooped him up.
What? What now?
We have a priority prisoner to get out of here, and we shouldn't stick around for. And I point towards that.
From his different vantage point, you see the conglomeration of fire, of earth, water, some sparkly fey magic, abyssal and infernal, and actually just abyssal. They didn't have infernal. All these different elements of the rift that seems to created a beast cobbled together from all the elements. It seems unstable.
It's an elemental.
Yes, it's an elemental with some fey and some demon mixed in there.
It's like a.
I'm gonna make a short jog back to the party and say, Girk, what's the fastest way out of here?
The portal? Where it is? That doorway?
Run towards the doorway.
I'll follow.
Okay. Everyone's running. You're running with the crowd at this point. Everyone's running to this passageway. You guys are some of the last in line at this point.
I don't care. I'm holding an officer. I'm gonna shove my way through.
Okay. They don't seem to pay you any mind, but at the same time, they don't seem to be able to stop you very well. Everyone make a dex save as a spew of fire and water rushes down from it.
I don't want to die again.
With a +3 from Thokk.
Yes, so 9 for me.
Looking for Lee.
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Holy bananas.
Oh,
I
That's
got a 1.
broken.
That was broken.
Uh,
But I rolled a 1, so
yeah.
Oh no.
So
Gotta re-roll another character.
Thokk, Jack, and Lee, you get hit by a rush of water that knocks you up.
I'm
Now you're
pregnant?
No.
Yep.
That sweeps you up and turns you into turns you onto your side as it throws you into a stream of fire. Let's do for a total of 9 fire damage. However, you're and dumped down the middle of this passageway with the water as your slide.
Well,
Let's see, you were 6, so 4, so you have 20 feet to fall, which happens instantaneously. For another, is it 2?
It's d6 per 10 feet, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I thought so. For another 5 bludgeoning as you spoosh against the ground, knocked prone. Far Traveler, you're the only one who does not fall with this.
Probably jumped and grabbed the side of a wall because I have climb speed.
Okay. Many others tumble down with you. Yeah, the gnome.
where do we
is fine.
land?
You land on the bottom of this, in that big circle area on the bottom there, near the middle. Or, yeah, near the middle.
You say there like there's a map to be looking at.
Sorry,
Is there not?
no, there isn't.
you could draw like
Okay.
a small little one if you want, but
I mean, it's
might be
just
kind of hard with the dimensional shit.
Yeah, it's really weird. So water hits you, and you get pushed over the edge, and hit the cylindrical bottom of this this hive chamber. Circular bottom.
Okay. And we came in on the first floor, didn't we?
You did to begin with. It wasn't into this area. This is a different one. This is actually farther back by quite a ways.
Okay.
And the passageways vary per level where they're at. However, most people seem to be running in a giant line. With you on this area is another 10 mages that have landed.
Okay. Do we have an idea of where the main entrance is? Is there any exit signs or anything like that?
If you follow the passages, it's 2 hives over.
What would it take to head that direction?
Getting 20 feet up and going through the passage. Or you could try finding the stairs up, which, if you follow the other mages, you might be able to figure that out.
Okay. Then we'll go with the flow for now.
Is there still a rush of water? Is it not
No, the
possible?
water hits and then settles on the bottom. There's no more rush.
Okay, I'll touch down on the floor and look over where they got blasted off and go, "You all right?"
With a wheeze, we say, kinda. Cool.
Alright, do you
What
guys follow the mages?
floor? Yeah.
I suggest you hold back.
So I want to follow the mages unless it looks like we're being led into a portal. Being led into a portal, then no.
Right.
Okay, so is that a yes? You guys are following the mages.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
a good idea, but okay.
Well, like we want to make it up the stairs so we can make our way out, right?
I can just get you up here once all the mages are gone.
Well, once all the mages are gone, there might be another explosion of an elemental that might kill us. So
Meh.
Yeah, we're just gonna go look for stairs.
Look for stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the other mages get up and they go, "Whoa!" and they start running all towards a single cell, which has the stairs in it. The stairs, which I didn't really describe earlier because they weren't as important, spiral all the way up and around this hive into the top. They're kind of like into the wall, so it's like pushed into the wall and then spiral up around everything. They would think they would hit things, but apparently they don't.
Dumbledore's spiral staircase, kind of.
Except much
Okay.
wider around.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I suppose I'll sling Gurk on my back and climb on down to there and follow him.
Okay. As you guys start climbing, you hear a large boom as the elemental seems to have dropped down. As you guys get to the next floor, you're able to look out and you see this towering figure. It's the top of its head is standing at the other, like the top of the other side. It's ginormous. It barely fits in where it's at.
Apologize, Gurk. Can you ignore your papers now?
I have a new focus.
We're gonna take the stairs up to the second, whichever level the exit is on, and head that direction.
Okay, it is on the third level, and you hear as you see the arms sweep across the third level. This and a lot of screaming, and then silence of the screaming. As what you can assume, this giant beast swooped up and crushed the remaining mages.
That might be the cue to be permanently taking a dodge action.
Yes.
Same.
When you look up towards where the stairs are on the third level, you see this fume of dust and smoke, as well as some debris, burst through the entrance. The beast then speaks in this grumbly, all elemental voice, or primordial, if anyone knows it. Anyone?
Nope.
No, sir.
Okay. So
That sounded like a big chunk of damage.
you then see one of the weirdest things you've probably ever seen, and that is a gigantic being of elements and some extra become like vacuumed into a single point as it gets pulled through that portal or passage. It disappears, leaving behind splashes of lava, water, rock, even this really strange standing breeze. Um, yeah. And the room goes quiet.
Still continuing towards the exit.
Yeah,
Okay.
still getting out.
Yep, same.
All right, so you hit the third floor, and the whole path around is crumbled and broken. There's holes that lead through the floor to the next level. Nothing too big because this is pretty thick, but there are some points maybe you dug deeper in one spot or another. And you see the splattered corpses of mages crushed against the floor, against the walls, and strewn about. No sign of the beast remains other than that. As you head towards the passageway, there isn't any silence, however, or there is silence, however, you can kind of see through the passage, and you see a similar thing happening on the other side, where this great beast of elements rages, destroying everything in its path. There's more people in there. Some try to fight back, however, their magic seems not to matter to this thing, as it crushes and destroys the people around it.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Getting the fuck out.
Continuing through the passage?
Getting
Yep.
the fuck out.
High needed out of there.
Okay. Everyone make an Arcana check real fast.
It didn't go. There it goes.
There it goes. Okay. Far Traveler and Lee.
Look real quick. Hold on just a second. See if I can do better.
Oh.
Nope.
Lol.
Use my old one.
So yes, Far Traveler and Lee, you are able to notice that the passageway is starting to fade, and going through it might be dangerous. It's possible that the person that was sustaining the power to it, or whatever was sustaining the power to it, has been damaged.
Oh, shit.
I'll ask Girk if he can maintain a portal long enough for us all to get through it.
I just have the fast pass.
But can you do it?
Are you a mage or aren't you?
I am. I'll try.
I'm going to cast Charm Person.
Okay. That's a wisdom save.
It is indeed.
Go. Here we go. DC?
15.
That was the saddest 15.
I just
I've ever heard.
ruined everything, didn't
Bend luck.
I? You should definitely bend that luck because he knows if he.
Oh, yeah, that's
failed.
right. Huh. I will definitely bend some luggage.
Okay, so a 1 would make it fail, so he does fail. And he goes, what do you
I need you to do this for us.
I can do it! And he gathers magical power and goes, I can't hold it for long, let's go!
And I
Time to go.
run through and blow him a kiss.
He
We're still
smiles
holding on to you.
shyly.
Yeah.
All right, you guys rush through.
Oh. We can leave him behind.
We could, or we
Pretty
could
cool
keep
little-
using him.
Okay,
we'll
that's
keep
fair.
using him.
Well, we'll use him until we're done with him, and then we'll kill him.
My
Sounds
main
totally
concern is-
elfin of you.
My main concern is where we're going with this portal.
This is not a portal. This is one of the passageways.
Oh, got it.
Just all the passageways are kind of
Got it.
dimensional shenanigans.
Got it.
By the time you guys get this all figured out, the beast has wrought chaos on this area and has moved forward. His chaos includes destroying much of the passageway. Given some time, you could go through it, but if the same thing happens and you get there too late, you might not be able to make it through that portal or passage. If you guys would to roll high acrobatics checks, you definitely could make it in time.
I don't think Thokk is going to be able to do it.
We're gonna do it.
Who's got inspiration left?
I
Yes.
do. So I'm going to. Well,
You can't wait until after the roll.
yeah. Let's roll, and I'll apply it to if somebody needs it.
Apply what?
Inspiration.
Can you give other people inspiration?
Yep.
Yes.
You may give other people inspiration.
Oh, you have to. Are we deciding to use it then?
We're gonna roll first. Oh, I'm good.
Cool.
All right, Lee is good.
Let's get Thokk out of the way.
I'm gonna apply inspiration.
Okay,
There we go.
that's not bad.
Nobody else fail.
Far Traveler is
Oh,
easily able to do this.
You might want to
Luck.
bend luck. That'll be iffy.
Or
We also
you
have
might,
your luck die.
Oh yeah,
might wanna-
I'll use a luck real quick and see.
you might
what
want to just Misty Step and save more luck.
Oh,
can
you
I,
could.
Can I just Misty Step through there then?
Yeah, Misty Stepping will allow you to get through it with no problem.
Yeah, I will do that.
Awesome.
So you guys, Thokk is about to slip, and someone's Lee, you slap him in the back, and he catches his step, and is able to get over the crumbling area around you, and you get to the passageway again. Gurg is required to. He holds it open. You guys can rush through. This is the one where you know the passage on the first floor is the way out.
I think no more dodging, time for dashing.
Okay.
Mhm.
The beast is still on its rampage, crushing and splattering these mages. It seems that it has opposition, however, as what seems to be archmages have shown up and are trying to contain it. However, they are not able to stop it fully, but it isn't killing everything immediately. With a couple of dashes, or with a dash, you guys can make it to the correct floor, and with another, you'll be able to make it out.
Let's do that.
Doing it.
Gurk,
Sounds good.
kind of confused as to why you're taking him this way, starts to like, where are we going? Aren't
Not
we
to
going?
the elemental.
You have to trust your friends.
Okay. And you guys make it to the passageway. Okay, so doesn't take long to run fully, and you make it outside to the old battlefield.
I don't think we should stop running, honestly.
Same.
And you keep running.
Yeah, we head away from the front battle lines.
Or we just
Okay.
dropping the gnome off at the front.
No, let's take him with us. We can kill him when we stop.
We can kill him if we need to kill him.
He's not a bad guy.
You think we can knock him out and have him, like, we can interrogate him later?
We should at least knock him out because the charm person is about to wear off, and he's gonna. Oh no, it lasts an hour. Never mind.
Yeah, it does last a while.
You think we can run to the base camp in less than an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You guys are fit.
Yeah, we're
Can
not
make it.
Call of Duty characters. We can sprint for more than 12 seconds without getting winded.
All right, you guys are able to make it back to camp, and that is where we are going to end this session. With Thokk saved, Gurk captured, probably not intentionally, and everyone surviving the rampage of a multi-elemental monster.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. All right. Woo! That was something else. Thank you guys for playing. It was fun.
I can totally tell that you wanted us to go inside the portal so bad.
No, I had no intention of that actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Sure.
I kid. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay classy.
Bye.